everyone, Alexander Show channel is here with you. How are you doing? I hope you are fine. I am great and I'm ready to watch another video with you. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like and comment. The video we're going to watch today is taken from Powerful GRE channel, YouTube channel. Joe Rogan is having podcast there, so it's a story about Travis Walton. And he has been abducted by aliens. So we're gonna listen to the story a little bit. So subscribe, of course, to Joe Rogan's channel and to our channel if you're not subscribed yet. So let's start.
The Joe Rogan experience.
Let's take it back to the day that this happened. You're 22, you're logging, you're in the woods. Tell me what happened.
It's just when you're done working hard physical labor, everybody's kind of jacked up, and there was a whole lot of chatter in the car. We're just talking away, it's starting to get dark. We just loaded up our equipment, we're headed out. I looked up ahead and I saw this kind of glow coming through the trees. First time thought, no big deal, we're steer hunting season. Thought maybe there was some hunters camped up on the hill up there. Maybe light shining through the tent. It was something really strange, kind of caught my eye. And one by one, the other guys in the crew started looking, but nobody said, "Oh my God, what's that?" or anything like that. It was just kind of an idle curiosity at first. But when we burst into the clearing, where we could see the source of this glow, it was just whoa, it was just mind-blowing instantly. I inexplicably got out of the truck and ran toward the city. I thought it was just gonna take off, be gone in a flash.
So when you say in the clearing, so are you driving on a dirt road?
Yeah, it's a dirt road. Trees are real thick. This was a part of the contract we hadn't cut in yet, so the trees were a lot thicker there, except for this clearing. And we weren't the only ones who saw it. We found out later. Sheriff had on file people who were in the area that saw it. Hunters, fishermen over there at Black Canyon Lake. And the movement that they described was what the crew described when it left. And of course I didn't see that, but
What did they describe?
they described this glow rising up and streaking off, I believe they said, toward the northeast. There were some people that probably don't want to be public about it, but there was one guy who was just deer hunting, and he worked in military intelligence, and he stuck by what he and his wife saw. I think they were both together. And another guy that was at Black Canyon Lake. I won't mention any of those guys' names unless they Joe's do. But found out later that there was more official investigation that nobody talked about at the time. Immediately though, this was all nonsense. These guys murdered him, and even my oldest brother, he didn't believe me. He thought they had killed me. What we were doing with the brush that we cut was piling it up. There were piles that were in the clearing, so that the Forest Service could burn these piles. When the conditions were right, where it was red, wet conditions otherwise, but burn up this excess material to reduce the fire danger in the woods. And my oldest brother was tearing those piles apart. He was certain my body was under there. And there was some pretty testy confrontation
between him and my brother. And I think even my other brother, Dwayne, he initially
took that approach, but he quickly became sure that they were telling the truth.
Now, what do you remember when you're going through your mind and you're trying? I mean, this is a story you've told so many times, and this is a story that's been turned into a film, which it's got to be very surreal. But when you look into your memories and you try to go back to that day,
well, I don't try. It's something I try to block out, but it's unforgettable. And there's
what do you remember seeing when you ran into the clearing?
well, the whole clearing was lit up with this weird glow. It's really hard to for any artist or movie to try to duplicate the strange glow that was there. Made everything look really pretty eerie, you know, and
Did it have a color to it?
it was kind of a golden color, but with a kind of a softness to it that it wasn't like beams of light shooting out. It was just this haze of light.
And did it seem to come from a specific part of the craft, or?
Most of the surface seemed to be glowing. There were darker areas that didn't give off light, but it was the parts that weren't glowing. It wasn't so hard, bright that you couldn't look at it, but it had a metallic look to it.
So what did the craft itself look like?
It was classic disc-shaped craft. The years later, there was a report. I can never remember names, but this guy was saying that he worked at Area 51, and they had something in there. He worked with the Tester Model Corporation to create a model of what I was describing, and that's actually the closest of any of the other descriptions I've seen. But I don't think these things have just one type of craft. I think there's many different shapes.
What makes you think that?
Well, personal experience. I try not to emphasize these other incidents, but I've seen the glowing sphere. I've seen the giant black triangle. Other craft that were a ball of light that you couldn't penetrate the light with your eyes, but
Now this is after this experience.
I think the reason my brother Dwayne was persuaded more quickly than my brother Don was that he saw a craft in those woods, was probably 10 miles from there, while deer hunting. And it was kind of tic-tac shaped, and that's something that's been observed by, in military reports recently.
Yeah. So you see this thing, this disc-shaped craft, and then what happens?
It started to move and started to get louder.
Louder.
Yeah. It was the guys in the truck heard it too. There was a low, thunderous kind of a rumble that you actually sort of felt more than heard. And then there were other high-pitched frequencies. I was talking to a group of students from technical college, and they were really interested in what the sound was like to try to compare that with theories that they had concerning what might be their propulsion. But the increase in volume, it suddenly got louder as it started to move, And, you know, at the same time, the guys in the truck were screaming, "Get away from there, you know, let's go, get back in the truck, let's go." And, which would have been the smart thing to do, but as soon as it moved, it startled me, and I just ducked for cover. There was a log there. I got down behind this log, and they were screaming, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." And I didn't need to be told. I was just gonna, you know, stand up and run away. But see, when I jumped for cover, I went down and forward to reach where the log would hide me, and that brought me closer to it. So when I stood up, at that point, that was the closest I was to the object.
How close?
It was still like 8 or 10 feet away, you know, from the surface of it. But that was when the energy discharge happened. I've worked on a number of theories about what might have happened. At the time, some of the other guys on the truck were thinking, I mean, immediately Steve said, "It got him," like, you know, if you shot a deer, you got it, you know.
Right.
And so it might not have been as we assumed at first, that it was some kind of stun gun or something, but maybe just closing that gap allowed this energy to leap to ground through me. And
like static electricity or something.
yeah, one thing that really weighs heavy in that direction is that when I found years later that they have satellites or something that record the number of lightning strikes, and that area has the highest frequency of lightning strikes of any place in the continental United States, except for the Everglades. The Everglades has a bit more, but that's over water. So that adds to another theory. What were they doing there? You know?
So that area that has a high level of lightning strikes, do you think it makes sense that they're observing that, or is that why they were there? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, up until a few years ago, you know, you walk down the rim road, and if you see a tree that's been hit by lightning, you can always see it. It's a strip of bark that's just blasted out of there, and it's all bare, and it can actually still survive the lightning strike, but it turns the sap to steam instantly, and it just explodes out the side of the tree, blows the bark off. But I was at a conference where this lady was, I said, "What's this?" And she says, "That's fulgurite." I said, "What's that?" And she says, "That's when lightning strikes the earth. You've got millions of volts, millions of degrees that form these crystals."
Okay, we stop right here. We'll continue watch other videos related to this story of Travis Walton and his abduction of the alien. You can decide for yourself if he's telling the truth or not. Please write in the comment what do you think. Please subscribe to Powerful GRE, aka Joe Rogan's channel. Like his videos, share them and comment, and of course subscribe to our channel, which is Alexander Show channel, which is this one actually. So love and peace to you all, and I see you soon. Bye bye.